Tonight, headstone hoodlums. Vandals destroy 11 graves in Brook at what is meant to be a peaceful place to be laid to rest. And no bus fare, no worries. Young people in Broken Hill said to benefit from an announcement by the Minister for Regional Transport and Roads.
From our 7 Spencer Gulf Studios, your nightly news with Madeline Kerr begins now.
Good evening, thanks for joining us. Heartless vandals have caused extensive damage to almost a dozen headstones at Brook Cemetery. SAPOL describing the despicable act as callous. Officers now focusing on finding the people or person who could possibly do such a thing.
Those laid to rest at the Brook Cemetery were meant to do so in peace. But heartless vandals had other plans, destroying 11 headstones, leaving loved ones devastated, and police left to put the pieces together.
Police are devastated to have to respond to this type of damage and are particularly upset for the families of the victims of this damage.
Cemeteries are meant to be a peaceful, safe place where people can visit their loved ones. Nobody would ever expect this kind of act to occur, especially in the small town of Brook.
Police are currently conducting inquiries into suspects in relation to this offending. Police do, however, ask that members of the Brook community in particular contact police on 1800 333 000.
Police are asking for your help, saying if the community works together, the more likely it is police will be able to arrest those responsible for this heartless act and stop this kind of behaviour from happening again.
Police will absolutely treat these crimes seriously. It's really devastating for not only police but members of the public for this type of damage to occur.
The damage is believed to have been done on Thursday night. Anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or online. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Young people in Broken Hill will continue to enjoy free public transport in the school holidays as the New South Wales State Government extends the trial until 2023. Minister for Regional Transport and Roads Sam Faraway, along with Mayor Tom Kennedy, making the announcement this morning.
Making sure the youth of the Silver City has adequate transport, especially during the school holidays, as not all parents are able to take time away from work to chauffeur kids around town.
Very exciting that we're able to announce that we'll be extending the trial until July 2023.
The trial of the free service has been running for 2 months. The extension giving the state government more time to collect efficient data on how young people are using the transport the city has to offer.
Being able to connect our regional youth, whether it's from the Aquatic Centre through to the local PCYC, through to the Silver City Cinema, or a loop through the CBD.
Broken Hill Mayor Tom Kennedy says it's important to connect those aged between 15 and 21 to the many amenities around the city.
I'm sure as a community we'll see a lot more kids down at the Regional Aquatic Centre, but also at the skate park town, maybe even the library, who knows.
The trial was welcomed by residents, as people who live in the south of the city were worried about access to the rest of the town after the Alma pool closed.
South Broken Hill particularly and often tell council that the transport from South Broken Hill to the rest of the community is lacking, particularly for children, particularly in school holidays.
Better transport also means places like the cinema won't go unused and will stay in business longer.
As was stated was the cinema, it's important that the cinema is frequently used by youth, because if it isn't, that's another thing that won't make money and could one day disappear from our cities.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
After almost a month of collecting donations, the Share on Air campaign has officially come to an end, closing the lid during National Homelessness Week. The initiative surpassed its goal of collecting 40 donation bins, almost doubling the amount of last year's efforts.
They say many hands make light work. And that has certainly been the case for the team at Magic 899 and West Coast Youth and Community Support here in Port Lincoln, collecting upwards of 45 bins in this year's Share on Air campaign.
So the basic idea is collect winter clothing, blankets, rugs, and non-perishable food goods for those less fortunate, that West Coast Youth can go and then distribute out to the community and help those out who need it.
The team has been busy sorting through donations, with the bin count piling up until the very end.
It looks like we're going to have 45, a bit over 45 bins, which is a fantastic effort. So it's overwhelming.
Tremendous effort. 28 last year, probably 48 to 50 bins this year, so almost double last year's donations.
But things aren't over just yet. West Coast Youth and Community Support now has its important task of delivering clothes and food items to those who need it most.
Next week we'll be bringing in some volunteers. Some of our participants from some of our programs are coming in to help us sort the goods. Once they're sorted, we'll be reaching out to the community to come in an organised way.
A testament to the people of the Eyre Peninsula for all their contributions throughout the campaign.
Just unbelievable. The Eyre Peninsula community, every time it's asked to do something like that, it just steps up and helps. No matter what the occasion, they're always there to support each other, and it's a great community to be part of.
And the team look to do it all again next year. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, from Flemington to Wallaroo, the Melbourne Cup's regional tour, aiming to unite communities and raise funds for local causes. And Port Augusta locals taking steps to raise awareness about an all too common chronic illness. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Golf News. Police are investigating a break-in at Cow, where a motorbike was stolen from the property sometime over the past few days. Between 9 a.m. last Thursday on the 4th of August and 8:30 a.m. yesterday, Sunday the 7th, a shed on Burton Street was broken into, where a 2013 Honda CRF dirt bike was stolen, along with other personal items. Police are urging anyone who may have seen the stolen dirt bike or who has details on its whereabouts to contact Crime Stoppers. The Lexus Melbourne Cup is celebrating 20 years in 2022. And thanks to the Wallaroo Development Association, the 18-carat gold trophy is stopping by the Yorke Peninsula tomorrow.
Fascinators won't be out of place in Wallaroo tomorrow, when the community has the rare chance to dress up and get up close with the cup from the race that stops the nation.
And we're the only regional SA town this year that was able to secure the cup coming, so that's very exciting.
The purpose of this tour is to bring prize possession to community members who wouldn't usually have the opportunity to go to Flemington and see the race firsthand.
Full of fashion. I mean, there's everything about the cup. There's always stories out of the cup of, the underdog winning the cup. It's not necessarily always, the champion horses that go into the races.
The Wallaroo event is taking place on the second Tuesday of August. Less catchy, but hopefully just as much fun.
The glitz and glamour of the cup. So we're going to have the red carpet. The cup's going to be front and centre at the start of the evening.
Wallaroo's own Peter Shepherd will be taking part in a racing panel later in the evening. He's well qualified, having rode in 5 Melbourne Cups throughout his career. The 18-carat cup will be on display at Cooper's Ale House from 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 tomorrow. To ensure you don't miss out, locals are encouraged to book online tonight. Annabelle Francis, 7 Spencer Golf News.
As the rate of type 2 diabetes continues to rise, Port Augusta locals gathered for a morning walk in a show of solidarity for those living with the chronic disease. Dozens of participants attended with their walking shoes on, many bringing their whole families along for the stroll.
Trying to tackle one of the nation's biggest health problems one step at a time. The Port Augusta Lions Club holding its 4th annual Diabetes Awareness Walk on the weekend.
It's all about getting out, exercising, watching what you eat, and hopefully that message gets out on days like today.
The group was up bright and early on Saturday morning, meeting at the Eastside foreshore before setting off on the 5-kilometre circuit. The participants braved the cold and a bit of light rain in support of the good cause.
This is one of the fastest growing chronic conditions in Australia today. 280 Australians a day are diagnosed with diabetes. That's 1 every 5 minutes.
Organisers saying the annual walk is a great way to keep type 2 diabetes prevention methods at the forefront of people's minds.
You know, we've got a lot of members down here supporting this morning. It's our, as I said, our 4th annual event, and we just want to get the message out there.
Especially because it hits close to home with a type 1 diabetic in the house.
The Lions Club says they hope the weekend's walk can help shine a light onto healthy life practices that prevent the disease. Edward McCarroll, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. The often overlooked part of owning a pet, which could have severe impacts on their health. And after studying Broken Hill from afar, meet the artists behind a unique exhibition in the Silver City. Welcome back to 7 Spencer Golf News. It's time to check on your four-legged friend's oral hygiene, with this August marking National Pet Dental Month. The initiative aims to raise awareness of brushing your pet's teeth to protect them from nasty and avoidable diseases.
A friendly reminder to check in on your pet's dental health. This August, the nationwide campaign is urging owners to make sure their pets' pearly whites are up to scratch.
August we focus on the dental health of our pets, so they need things like we do, so making sure that we're looking after their dental health. They can have chews, they can have specific food, and they can have gels and things like that.
For puppies and kittens, the final set of adult teeth should emerge at 7 months, and there's plenty of ways to keep their chompers sparkly clean.
There's even special toys that have texture and grooves, and you can put the gels on them. There's lots and lots of different things you can do for their dental health, especially if they're fussier dogs and they're a bit picky with their food.
According to the Australian Veterinary Association, 4 out of 5 dogs develop some degree of dental disease. Warning signs can be as obvious as missing teeth, bleeding gums, or bad breath.
Big things to notice if your dental health is poor in your pet is the big triggers, obviously smelly breath. They may be avoiding certain foods or be fussy with their food. They can also have swelling in their face.
Specialised toothbrushes and gels can also be bought for your pet. However, if dental treatments aren't working, it's advised to book your pet in for a veterinary checkup. But for now, it's all smiles from Archer the Dalmatian. Henry Millick, 7 Spencer Golf News.
It's the exhibit showing the history of trade and culture through the ancient art form of batik tulis, and it's right here in Broken Hill. Cultura Collective performing a traditional Indonesian dance to open the exhibit at the city's art gallery.
Telling a story from afar, the history of the Silver City encapsulated by art, seeing the region for the first time from a different point of view.
Cultura Collective, my collective art, which is really love how to translate our culture.
The exhibition had its grand opening on Friday night, with a number of people marvelling at the art, as well as a bit of bubbly, and seeing another culture up close and personal.
You know, the hype of the audience I really love, and then people can see my works, not just from the drawing batik, but also the combination between performance art and also the music itself.
Combining different mediums for an immersive experience.
We really wanted to make it more closer with the, not just for us, but also with the audience itself.
Diaz has enjoyed his time in the Far West, already planning the next trip out.
Which is, we're really thankful to the Broken Hill area, especially Broken Hill Council and Broken Hill City Art Gallery gave us an experience.
Cultura Collectiva now moves on to Sydney and then Melbourne, before finishing up in Canberra for some more art projects and workshops.
Tomorrow we have to heading to Sydney and then doing some workshop there. Also I have some art project, also a mural project there.
Joshua Mercer, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Stay with us after the break. The bad luck streak continues for one of the Spencer Golf League teams. And we'll have the weather details with Alex Sykes. Welcome back. In regional footy, round 14 of the Spencer Golf League saw Solomon Town on top of the ladder. But it's still bad news for West Augusta, who are reeling from a hard loss against Central. Here's Daniel Pizarro with this week's Footy Wrap.
As the SGFL heads towards the end of the season, the clubs are chasing those finals berths. Central Augusta has been thrown a lifeline after defeating West Augusta, while the Hawks are still winless this season. The rain managed to mostly hold off at Etzer Oval as Central played host to West Augusta. The boys in red and black on their home ground for the multicultural round, as well as a players' reunion. The first two quarters were a tight affair as both senior squads fought hard for the lead.
We've got the reunion for the 76 to 86 players that played for the club. The club had a good period through that period, so it's good to get back some old faces.
But Central pulled ahead during the third quarter, and despite the Hawks' steadfast performance in the fourth, the home side proved too good.
We took control in that last 10 minutes of the second quarter, which I think catapulted us to have a good third quarter and set the game up.
West Augusta's winless season continues, going down by 37 points, 3-7-25 to 9-8-62. Meanwhile, Solomon Town remains on top of the ladder with a narrow 5-point win over proprietary Risdon, and South Augusta's Jamal Mackenzie's 4 goals helped crush Port 17-11-113 to 4-5-29. In the Whyalla League, Rapina down Waroona Bay 10-13-73 to 5-10-40. It's a worrying sign for the second place team ahead of finals. North collapsed against Central Whyalla by 68 points, and South looks set for the wooden spoon, losing to West 5-5-35 to 11-12-78. Over in Port Lincoln, Waybacks had a narrow victory over Boston, 9-11-65 to 9-5-59. With Boston at the bottom of the ladder, Waybacks may have to review their own performance after just staving off an embarrassing loss. Tasman came up short against Marble Range by 33 points, and Mallee Park were destroyed by Lincoln South 5-12-42 to 13-14-92, with South's Waylon Miller scoring 3 goals. In Broken Hill, West scored a surprising win by edging out Central by 8 points, and South stomped all over hapless North 19-16-130 to 4-2-26, with Cody Shawn booting 6 goals alone. That's all for this week's Footy Wrap. Tune in tomorrow night where we'll take a look at the other sporting results from across the region.
Daniel Pizarro reporting there. Welcome to the team. Time now to take a look at what's happening in the weather with Alex Sykes. Alex, Port Augusta was off to a cool start this morning.
Thanks, Maddie. Good evening to you. Yes, that's right. It was minus 0.9 degrees at 7:20 this morning, the coldest it's been in about a month. The Jewel of the North warming up to 19 degrees by mid-afternoon. Elsewhere, 17 was the top in Cleve. The low temperature was 5.8 degrees in the wee hours. Coffin Bay topped 16. Looking more broadly at today's weather map now, 19 degrees in Woodna, Port Pirie and Whyalla both reached 18. 17 was the top in Kadina and Port Lincoln. It was partly cloudy in the capital, reaching 15 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite image now, a cold front will move over the far west late tomorrow, then across remaining parts on Wednesday. A low pressure system will move across the south of the state on Thursday and Friday. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Northeasterly winds about 10 knots, increasing up to 20 knots before dawn. Seas below a metre increasing up to 1.5 metres. South to southwesterly swell around a metre. Mostly sunny in Port Lincoln and 17 on Tuesday. Mostly sunny in Cleve for the first day of the EP Field Days event, set to reach a top of 18 degrees there. Woodner's in for a sunny morning before a shower or two in the afternoon, between 4 and 20 degrees. Chilly in Whyalla overnight, down to just 2 degrees, set to top 20 tomorrow though. Even cooler in Port Augusta, 1 singular degree tonight, 22 the top on Tuesday. Mostly sunny in Kadina, set to reach 17 degrees. Port Pirie heading for 20 degrees, down to 3 tonight, sunny and 16 in Clare, and the chance of morning frost in Broken Hill, 17 degrees there. Taking a look further through the week now, Wednesday is looking rather wet with possible thunderstorms from the late morning in Port Lincoln and Kadina. Temperature-wise, those areas will max out at 15 degrees. Further north, 17 and showers in Whyalla and Woodner. Even Cooper Pedy can expect some rain, 18 degrees. Moving on to Thursday's outlook now, the wet weather will continue in Broken Hill down to Adelaide on the right-hand side of our map. Temps in the mid to late teens. To the left, very high chance of showers, most likely in the afternoon and evening in Port Lincoln, 16 degrees. Whyalla will be spared from the showers, partly cloudy and 19. And taking our first look at Friday's forecast, rainy across the region. Broken Hill has a medium chance of showers at this stage. If it were to rain, it's most likely in the morning and afternoon. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. Maddie, it's back to you.
Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news this Monday. I'm Madeline Kerr. Thanks for joining us. I'll have updates a little later, but until then, enjoy your evening. Good night.